In Hachan, Shake Your Booty, Haru and Luis love competing in Tokyo's ballroom dance scene, but after tragedy strikes, Haru withdraws into isolation. When friends and family coax her back to the dance studio, she develops an infatuation with the new dance instructor. She must face what comes next as sparks fly. Hachan, Shake Your Booty is directed by Joseph Kubota Dwadaika, and he has previously directed films such as Dirty Hands and Catch the Fair One, and Hachan, Shake Your Booty just debuted at the 2026 Sundance Film Festival. Hachan, Shake Your Booty is a delightful, surrealist comedy, romance, and also a mix of dramas. A whole bunch of different dramas mixed into this film. It's about Haru, who, played by Rinko Kikuchi, Japanese actress. She is married to a Mexican man, and they live in Tokyo, and they regularly dance in amateur competitions in ballrooms. And one day they're dancing, and her husband has a medical episode in a dance studio, and he unfortunately passes away. And his family fly from Mexico to Tokyo to organize the burial, and they have a bit of conflict between Haru and the family. Haru wants his body cremated, but his family wants to take his body back to Mexico, so there's a bit of conflict there at the beginning, and we get introduced to a bit of Japanese culture there. And then after that, Haru becomes a bit of a shut-in. She doesn't want to. She's very deeply affected by the death of her husband, and so she basically becomes a shut-in. She never leaves her home, and she still has like fantasy. She still thinks her husband, his spirit is still there, and throughout the film, her husband is conjured up as like a CGI penguin throughout the film, and Haru still talks to him in her home. Then her sisters coax her out of the home and back into the dance studio, and there's a new instructor at this dance studio, and he's like kind of a little bit famous. He was on Dancing with the Stars in Japan or Europe, I think, and he's quite handsome, and straight away Haru is very attracted to him physically, and she really tries to get a chance to dance with him any chance she gets. There's a really fun dynamic between Haru and her sisters. Her sisters are quite characters, and they all fancy this new dance instructor, but Haru is the one who gets to have a romantic relationship with him. It's a little bit complicated because he's married to another dancer who is not in Japan at the time, so he's there by himself. But he's in open marriage, so he dates on the side, and so he ends up sleeping with Haru twice, and it's a bit of a rebound romance for her. Because she's still getting over the death of her husband. In this film, Haru has a lot of like fantasy, like she has a very active imagination, and throughout this film, there's a lot of like imaginary dance sequences and fight sequences, and they're all displayed in like colorful, imaginative musical elements throughout the film. And there's not one, but actually two tributes to Dirty Dancing in this film. There's like an imaginary fight, Dirty Dancing scene near Ueno Station in Tokyo, and a bit later in the film, Haru takes the dance instructor to a Dirty Dancing play. So both scenes are quite very amusing and memorable in this film. And at the center of this film is the performance from Rinko Kikuchi. Usually she plays very, very serious roles. I don't think I've ever seen her smile in a film before. So in this film, she gets to smile and dance and move her body, and you can really tell what attracted Rinko to this role, because it really shows a side of herself that she's really never shown in film before, and it really is a role of a lifetime for her. So she really grabs it by the horns, and she's really engaging, and she gets to show off a whole range of emotions in this film. But for me, the one fault I have with this film is it's far too long, and the pacing, especially in the middle section of the film, is quite uneven. So it just over 2 hours long. It didn't really need to be that long. Did we really need all of those fantasy sequences? It just, especially in the middle section of the film, it gets some of the scenes get a little bit redundant when she's in that romantic subplot with her dance instructor. So for me, I would have liked it if it was a little bit shorter, maybe 15-20 minutes shorter. But yeah, other than that, I still enjoyed the film. I give Hachan, Shake Your Booty 3.5 stars out of 5. It has a fantastic lead performance by Rinko Kikuchi, who gets to show a side of herself that she really hasn't shown before, and there's a lot of very interesting, well-staged fantasy sequences throughout the film that really enliven the film, and it's a very engaging story brought to life by Rinko Kikuchi. So I definitely recommend checking out this film. It's a little bit too long for me, and some of the pacing a little bit uneven, but I still definitely recommend checking out this film. I think you'll really enjoy it. Thanks for watching. What did you think of Hachan, Shake Your Booty? Please comment below what you thought of the film. See you next time. Bye.